Hey everyone, and welcome. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I don't really know how to do that in a really smooth way. It's like, hey, but yeah, welcome, I guess, to the first video that's going to be uploaded on my YouTube channel. This isn't the first video that I've recorded for YouTube. There have been several false starts and over the years, and just, I had to wait until I had a decent enough computer, and I had tried previously recording videos on computers that just weren't really up to the challenge. And it wasn't, to me, it's always like, I didn't want to start this until I knew I could do it right. I didn't want to, be playing on really low settings where you couldn't actually tell what you were looking at. Like, is that a sim or is that a plant? I didn't want to play on those kind of settings. So I wanted to wait until I could afford, a decent computer. I didn't want to sound like I was underwater. So I wanted a decent microphone, and all of these things, unfortunately, cost money because the real world sucks and we can't get these things for free. That's all I have to say about that. But no, welcome to my first YouTube video. This is actually a speed build of me building a house for my Cats and Dogs Let's Play. This isn't the actual, the frame of the house is what ends up being the actual house, but the design of the house originally, I imagined sort of like a really fancy kind of house, and I realized it didn't quite suit the Let's Play that I had in my head. To give you a little quick rundown, at the moment, we're playing with somebody who's just somebody who's just a daughter. Well, every female's a daughter of someone, but yeah. But look, it's my first video. Give me a break. Give me a break. So she's like a daughter, like a girl who has parents. I don't know how better to say that. It's because I've forgotten her name. And I designed the house thinking about it was her family home, but I designed the house originally for what I'd imagined she would have her house look like, when really, if you think about it, it should be what her parents are like. So I decided to redecorate it based on her parents instead. Now, if you can't already tell, I'm trying to match the house with what the little house that's attached to the lighthouse. So you can see where the lighthouse is. There's basically like a little house that's like offset that, and I've tried to make a house that matches that, because I kind of picture in my head that this house is sort of like where the keeper of the lighthouse lived, and then that was the lighthouse there, and they were built at the same time. It was designed that whoever lived here used to run the lighthouse and maintenance it and everything, and that's kind of like my theory in the back of my head. So I wanted to make sure that the house actually matched what the lighthouse had going, like the same design and similar, without being too much of a copycat. The rest of the house is actually designed from memory of a house that I used to stay at as a kid, where it was like the whole second floor was on sort of like stilts, and then there was a bedroom underneath, and sort of like the house that you had to go outside, go down a flight of stairs, and then go up to the underside of the house, which was originally a basement that was turned into like bedrooms, and the upstairs was made purely entertainment, no, designed for like it was living space, not bedrooms or anything. So this house is loosely based on that. So this house had like this downstairs floor was only like half the size of the house, and then which you had to go outside to access, and then underneath the house there was also a huge basement. So there was like, I don't really remember the basement very well, but all I remember was that it was just boxes, just pretty much just storage. So that's what I kind of went for here. That's what I was kind of, inspired by. And yeah, the rest of it is just sort of me playing around with, cats and dogs. I don't have, at this point, I do own all the expansions and stat packs and whatever now, but at the time, I don't think I owned everything, just simply because I only used to play Sims on my laptop, and my laptop could run the base game and stuff packs, but as soon as you install like a game pack or an expansion pack, it would start throwing a hissy fit and try to, turn itself off or quit and whatever, and it didn't quite work. So I didn't bother buying packs then, so I only had a couple of packs. I bought Cats and Dogs, because I wanted to play, obviously, Cats and Dogs, but I don't think I have bought any other packs yet. I bought them later. So I'm pretty sure I had all the stuff packs installed because I could play with stuff packs. I had Outdoor Retreat, and I think I had Cats and Dogs, and that's all I had at this point. I've been buying them throughout the Christmas sales because I'm cheap. But yeah, so to give you a little rundown of who I am, because I guess that's also the other point of the video, is that my name is Jack, and I have been playing The Sims since the original. I actually got the original Sims for my birthday in the year 2000. So, been playing for a while now. I did, without choice, I have kind of moved to console over the years because I've never had like The Sims 3 never ran on a laptop that I owned or a computer, and neither did The Sims 4. Sims 4 base game, yes, but none of the expansions. So I've always kind of played with the console variant. So like I played The Sims 3 for console, and The Sims 3 Pets for console, and that's pretty much, I had them both for Xbox 360. So that's pretty much since The Sims 2 days, that's pretty much all I've touched. And I was kind of itching really like badly to get back to The Sims, but I always said that if I was going to get a computer, like for gaming, I would save up and buy a decent gaming computer. I wouldn't buy a computer that could just run The Sims, So I guess it's been a while because, with The Sims 3, was out when I was in school. So it's not like I could just ask my parents for, a $2,000 laptop, please, thank you very much. Love you, mum. Love you, dad. I'm gonna go and hibernate now. They wanted me to, my mum and my mum was always big on like not buying things, buying experiences. Except I didn't like birthday parties or going out very much, so I don't know, it was wasted on me. My dad just kind of like, he was just like money. But of course, if you hand money like $100 notes or whatever to a teenager, we're not going to save up and buy something worthwhile. Like, it's just not going to happen. And I always said to my parents, look, I'd much rather you just buy me one big gift and then skip my birthdays for the next 5 years. But they're like, no, we can't do that. That'd be horrible. Here's useless things that you don't need every year. Plunk, plunk, plunk. So, basically, I just haven't been able to play The Sims on PC, apart from like the Sims 4 base game, as I said, because the Sims 4 base game seemed to work pretty well. But like I remember downloading Outdoor Retreat for the first time and putting that on, like playing that. And as soon as I loaded it, like my computer just went, like, because of all the trees and everything in Outdoor Retreat, it was just sort of like, and I'm like, oh my god, it's going to explode. It's going to turn it off. So I pretty much uninstalled Outdoor Retreat straight away and never touched Outdoor Retreat ever again, because it was just like, I just thought, well, I guess I'm not getting any expansion packs or game packs for The Sims 4 because my laptop is barely, struggling as it is. But in terms of like The Sims, what I want out of this channel, I guess, and this, obviously what kind of Sims games I want to play. I didn't really grow up playing The Sims 2 on PC either. I grew up playing The Sims Life Stories and The Sims Pet Stories, so if you know what those were. I hadn't played the story modes in them yet, but I used to use them as like normal Sims games. So I have experienced The Sims 2 in some form, but the only Sims game that I've actually explored in full was The Sims 1. Like I had all the Sims 1 games. I used to go every time and get them. The Sims 2, for whatever reason, didn't work on my computer. It just kept having hissy fits saying that I needed like a DirectX 3D or whatever compatible. That error message haunts me to this day. But The Sims Life Stories and Pet Stories worked fine. So I even though they're basically The Sims 2, so I had no idea. I honestly have no idea. As you can see at the moment, we're just decorating the house. So I made it this is originally just one big living space. We do change it, but I'll upload that in a separate YouTube video. But for now, if you want this house, it's definitely available. And I was exploring all the new furniture that came with cats and dogs. And originally, this ended up being a very white build, so I had to go back and sort of add some color to it because all the furniture, I made everything white. Like I was just like, or cream. And it was just a little bit too much. But yeah, just I'm trying to commentate a build and tell you about my life story at the same time. But yeah, I have enjoyed the Sims 4 base game so far, but there's always, you lose motivation when you can't play any of the packs. And Sims 3 wise, I did play the Sims 3 base game, but it always used to crash like heavily, and I never bothered playing it. I just used to always play it on Xbox, which is it's very similar. The only thing that you lose on Xbox is the open world, but to be honest with you, I don't necessarily like open world. My experience with open world so far has been kind of meh. Like it doesn't really add much to me. If a game keeps lagging because there's no loading screens, then I'd just much rather have loading screens. That's just my thing. I mean, I don't know about what you guys prefer or whatever, but even now I've got a really good computer, and The Sims 3 still seems to have issues. And it's like the game, was released in 2009, and I bought a 2016 spec'd computer, and it still doesn't want to work. And I just think, okay, I give up. But here I am adding some more color because I just realized that everything was white and it just looked really like unrealistic. But yeah, we went with this country looking house theme, and I thought, you know what? They live by the water, and it's a shack by the water. I don't think that it would be so petite and nice. Like her parents lived by the water and lived on an island, they live on the island, they're not going to have luxuries. They're going to, you know, if it was the Windenburg Island, maybe different, but this island's kind of obviously like an extra graveyard and a lighthouse. Like, it's obviously not prime real estate. So I imagine that it would be kind of shacky, and how this house actually ends up changing is quite amazing. It's hard to think it's the same house in a lot of ways. But I didn't do any landscaping or anything in this house. I just did the bare essentials. And it was about halfway through I realized this isn't really the house that I wanted to play with. But if you keep seeing me exit towards the neighborhood screen, it's because the size up and down cheats kept breaking, and I had to keep going back to the main menu and then, or back to the neighborhood and then going back in to get them to work again. So yeah. But for this channel, I would love to. I'd love to go back and play all the Sims 2 expansion packs because I didn't experience any of them. Probably the only expansion pack that I got a really good taste of was Nightlife, because a lot of Nightlife was in the Sims Life Stories, and also Pets, because Pets was in the Sims Pet Stories, as you can imagine. So also, if you notice that my voice is really croaky, I know this is my first video, but it's actually because I've got a cold. I always have well, not a cold. I always say a cold because it's easy to explain, but I do get sore throats quite a lot, and my voice gets a bit gravelly when I've spoken too much. I work in an office, so I'm constantly talking, so it doesn't help when I get home and I'm like, but yeah. Life story in a nutshell, I kind of want to, or YouTube story in a nutshell, I want to kind of play all the games that I missed out on. So probably not going to play I will play The Sims 1 eventually, but probably not anytime soon. It's still a game that I used to play even recently, like used to play it all the time on my laptop. And then, but I'd like to go back and play all the Sims 2 expansion packs that I missed out on, because apart from Pets and Nightlife, not really played any of those. And with The Sims 3, I've only ever played the Sims 3 base game. And I also played with the Sims 3 Riverview because that was like a free world. But apart from that, the Sims 3 for PC was just so horrible to use. Even like back then, it used to crash so much. It still crashes now, so I don't know if they fixed anything, but it crashed on my Mac and everything was awful. But Sims 3, I played Pets because we've got the Sims 3 Pets, and I've played. I think in the Sims 3 Pets, they've got like parts of Ambitions in there. So I've played with the Inventor Table and a few other things. But I would like to go back and play the Sims 3. And for the Sims 4, I've literally only played with the stuff packs and a little bit of Outdoor Retreat. So I finally decided to get a computer. It was a bit of an older computer, but I didn't want to spend too much money because I do want to buy like a really good computer later on. So this is kind of like an interim computer until I can afford a really good one. But until then, I have lost my trail of thought completely. Until then, so, like, but no, basically until then, I don't really want to, no, it's gone. It is gone. This is pretty much a good summary of what to expect on this channel. It's gone. I've forgotten. I don't know what I'm making this video for. But no, I pretty much haven't played with any of the Sims 4 yet, so that will also be quite fun. And we'll go through and play with all of those as well. Now, in this last 30 seconds, I just want to say that this is amazing. The size down cheat kept breaking like every 3 seconds, so I had to keep going out, in and out, in and out. And while it didn't feel so quick, like in 30 seconds, I've never seen somebody exit build mode and go back in, exit it, and go back in so many times. So yeah, but otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching my welcome video. This will be available on the gallery, and stay tuned for more content coming out your way very soon. Great exit, right? Bye.